So from my perspective, change isn't necessarily good or bad, whereas innovation is, I think, inherently good. Basically, innovation to me is, within the context that I work, is allowing teachers or empowering teachers to use new tools and techniques in order to enhance teaching and learning in the classroom. So for example, innovation that's currently taking place globally is cell phone phenomenon. I think it's an example of how the boundary between classroom and home, perhaps classroom and personal life, is starting to blur a little bit. All of our students from about 4th grade on are in some form or fashion exposed to games, video games in their own personal time, music players such as the iPod, as well as a whole host of other media via the internet, social networking, etc. These are all examples of the media-rich or technology-rich environment that our students interact with on a daily basis. And so really what that does is it gives us very powerful tools that the students are already fluent in. They're already used to using some of these tools. And it starts to blur that line between the formal learning environment, which is typically 7 to 3, Monday through Friday, and the informal learning environment, where most students spend the vast majority of their time. So by augmented reality, what I mean by that is using a GPS-enabled mobile computer of some sort. It could be a cell phone, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. And then using software that's written at MIT to create a story or a narrative or a simulation or a game which aligns with whatever teaching objectives the teacher has. But it's done in a very collaborative and, again, physical way, where the students are actually exploring the environment, and hopefully, if we design it well, having authentic and rich interactions with their environment as well as with each other. Anytime you're talking about innovation, anytime you're talking about things that are very cutting edge, you're going to run into equity issues. The ability to actually not only bring these technologies to the classroom and figure out how they work, but also when you're talking about innovation and technology, in the very beginning, it's usually expensive. As the technology progresses, the technology gets more powerful and it gets cheaper, but initially that's not the case. So I think in the short term, one of the challenges is going to be making sure that regardless of the demographic, the socioeconomic status of the school, that we're providing the tools necessary in order to really figure out what some of these innovative practices look like. Medium and long term, I think that's going to be taken care of by the fact that most kids will come to school with very powerful tools in their pocket. And then the question becomes, well, how do we use them? Technology, especially mobile technology, as well as internet-based tools such as Web 2.0 tools such as social networking, YouTube, some of these very powerful and free environments. That, to me, is, to use your word, streamlining or perhaps making teachers more effective just by virtue of the fact that students are becoming more sophisticated in their ability to navigate these environments. And they're, again, like I said, in their spare time, they're using these very powerful tools to teach and learn, to collaborate across distance with kids from all over the world, and devoid of school. So if we can connect what kids are already doing with social networking, with gaming, to what we do in the classroom, that will go a long way towards improving our education system.